about the following. This is an individual who has 5 or 6 companies he's running, right? The boring companies, Leroy and Tesla and SpaceX, and he's also running this operation with the government. He's got a video game system installed in the office that he gets the EOB while he's apparently taking a lot of drugs and is managing a private life that involves like over a dozen children with multiple women. Like, at a certain point, you start to feel like, can you really be doing all this? Actually?
That sounds a lot like the black fatigue discussions, don't it? It really does. It sounds a lot like the black fatigue discussions. Everything that you just laid out, Chris Hayes. And by the way, if we're wondering about the power of money, the power of the patriarchy, and the power of whiteness, we were able to fast track immigration for white South Africans because he said everything that Chris Hayes just laid out. Ray Musk said we need to bring over the white South Africans while playing the video games off the dog food, and we did it.
Well, I mean, there was some kind of reporting they found that you're really playing video games, so I think that's an important caveat here on the Elon Musk resume.
And then there's that, which I'm not deep into the video game spaces, but he got aired out for being exposed for not playing video games that he said that he was playing and achieving all these crazy high scores, which didn't really matter much to me, except for the fact that if you want to misrepresent something that random and innocuous just to pump up your ego, the ground is the limit.
Elon Musk's time in the administration was defined by the massive cuts he made to the federal workforce, which have frequently been challenged in courts and often blocked, as well as reported interpersonal clashes with senior cabinet members, including trade advisor Peter Navarro, who he called a, quote, moron, and, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks, end quote. In the Oval Office today, Elon Musk lashed out at the New York Times without answering questions about the substance of its reporting. NBC News has not been able to independently verify the Times reporting. The White House and Elon Musk did not respond to requests for comment from NBC News. The White House spokesperson did issue a statement to the New York Times. He declined to comment on Musk's drug use. What is ketamine and how do you take it, and what would a normal, either recreational or prescribed use look like?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's this powerful anesthetic that can serve as a sedative, and it has been approved by the FDA for use in medical procedures. There are doctors who have prescribed it for psychiatric treatment, like depression, but those doctors are supposed to have special licenses, and the FDA has warned that the use of this drug, can come with these serious side effects and risks, including addiction and bladder issues.
Does that mean you lose? What are the bladder issues?
The bladder issues, those it's not one single bladder issue that can come from chronic use of the drug, which can be consumed in a variety of ways, including like through lozenges and nose sprays. In addition to being used medically, it has also become an increasingly popular recreational drug. I think particularly in the sort of out west in the tech world.
Yeah, if you know what a rave is, or what was it, a bubble party? Is that what we used to call it, a bubble party? What was it called? Where they had the suds. I got old, I forgot what the parties in my college. What was it called? No. Phone party. Party with bubbles. These are for kids. Yes. I would also add kids of a certain age would know all about. If you know what a bubble rave is, you familiar? Yeah. I didn't ask for that information, but I am of the rave generation.
But the FDA has warned that it can have these side effects, and the bladder issues can involve like pain and control.
Got lot of political analysis sort of assessing that he cost the Republicans a seat in Wisconsin. I mean, what is the sense of how much we still don't know about Elon Musk technology?
Well, I think that that's a really good question, and obviously our story comes at this moment when he is departing from Washington, at least to some extent. And I think that all of us are going to be processing and analyzing what has happened, both publicly but also behind the scenes over the past year. And it's also important to note that while our reporting on his drug use, this drug use that was much more intense than previously known, kind of only went up through the end of last year, and we can't say with certainty whether he was continued to use drugs once he entered the White House and was given the keys to slash the federal bureaucracy. And listen, we asked the White House about whether or not they had drug tested Musk, and they refused to answer those questions. SpaceX, one of his companies, after he smoked weed in 2018 on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Your call has been forwarded to it. Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Their employees. And our reporting showed that Musk received advanced warnings of those tests. So what's certain is that there doesn't seem to be there hasn't been any sort of scrutiny or true monitoring or testing of this drug use, even as it sort of bubbled up behind the scenes. And today the White House issued a statement saying that they, basically saying that they gave Musk a lot of credit for what he's done, but still refusing to answer our questions about whether or not they've drug tested him.
Now, as I opened this particular video, I talked about some similar characters we have seen. Bubbles, who was on the street, Tyrone Biggums, who was on the street, Gator, who was on the street. Elon Musk was able to attain the status of holding the President of the United States in his hand and leading him around by the pocket, despite all of that. And apparently none of it sticking to him to any great extent, so much so that his X platform will be filled with people characterizing black folk in the same vein of things that he has done. And that tells you everything you need to know about where we at in 2025. Now I ain't got enough. What you need it for? Elon, look, I'm gonna take you to the restaurant. I'm gonna take you to. No, I know where it's gonna go. I know exactly where it's. If you want some food, I will buy you some food, but I'm not just giving you money.
Oh my God, today. Y'all know I don't normally do news and information that you can use that is nasty and rank, but this, baby, sit down. I know you probably already heard of it, but I hadn't heard about it because I pay attention to news and information that you can use so I can transpose directly to you. But as I was sitting in my car waiting for the rain to subside because I'm about 30 miles away from my house, I figured, you know what, let me go ahead and just scroll just a little bit and let's read up what's on the news. And this word popped up for me, and it's called thruple. Why not tell me what a thruple is? Grab the tea. Let's go. Now, according to what I have recently read, Stephen Miller, you know me, Stephen Miller that wants everybody to be patriotic and do the things and to be staunch and be whatever, even though your family came over. Okay, we're not gonna go there. We're gonna stay on task, Paulette. Stay on task. Do not squirrel. Stephen got a wife. Wife's name's Katie. He told Katie, go hang out with us over there with Doge and make sure that he's doing what he said he was going to do and make sure that he's doing what we want him to do and all of the things and coerce and do all of the things. And oh boy, did she. She did that. Or she did it so well. She did it so well. And now the Musk is leaving the Trump administration. So is she.
Hey, special shout out to everybody who joined me at our last members live.
I'm almost weeks. I'm almost weeks of my life. Watching the crash of that's just, you know, I feel like it's a
Now we're going to be doing a whole lot more of these, and it's available to everybody who's in deep water or troubled water, and there's a link to membership in the description box to all of the videos. This is, of course, in addition to my regular Tuesday lives every week at 8 p.m.
It's the irony of all the sinning that's going on in the they don't pay attention to it. And they put the chief sinner among us, like the chief sinner among us is the one that's supposed to be spread this Christian nationalism. That's wow. You know what I mean? Like what a comment on all the world tonight.
Now, speaking of troubled waters, we have a very deep and growing archive of content, even some old stand-up clips. Although I call it stand-up, I don't know if the people that were actually there would call it comedy at all. I'm happy to be here on the last weekend. Period. But we haven't actually added to the archive in a couple of months, and we're going to rectify that over the next few weeks, which makes this a perfect time to binge watch old videos if that is your preference, or you can join Trouble Watch for you to look at what the full archive complement actually looks like. And for those of you that are already members, I did post the links to the free trial for Patreon in the community tab, so make sure you check those out as well. Now, before I go, I would like to send a plea out to the ancestors. I see y'all on the rampage, and it has even come here home to D.C. I have no idea who's on my home. I don't, and I am not responsible. I don't even know them. I got nothing to do with them, so I don't know if you want what you want me to do. You want to put something on the door, or leave a light on upstairs, or just y'all send me a sign. You know what I mean? Just let me know. I need, you know, for soul brother, black home, like, tell me something.
Anyone who knows me knows that I love fashion with clean lines and timeless style. Next is next. This is what we call hashtag tonight. You see, some shops just charge what they want and call it content. Car Shield can help protect you against all that. Car Shield keeps it classy and affordable and helps cover your expensive repair bills so you aren't left over paying for something like what I'm saying is, call Car Shield to help avoid all the stress and hot mess so you and your car can feel balance. Like you're supposed to. That's right, honey. I'm about to the Car Shield.
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to therapy. And as a therapist myself, of course I'm going to say it's a great idea. But first, let's talk about things they don't tell you. First of all, you're going to say, like 300 times. Spoiler alert. And how does that mean? Yes, they actually use this phrase. Yes, actually want to know that. Because they're fine. Like one minute you're talking about the race that you got at work, and then the next minute you're talking about how when you were 6 years old, your mom left you in the aisle of your grocery truck because she went to the next aisle to get you milk, and she thought that you were right there next to her. Come to find out, that's when the abandonment issue started. And